Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is Talking Crazy 88, back again with another live stream for you. An episode of the Balcony Chronicles on this beautiful Saturday afternoon, May 8th, 2026. How's everybody doing on this beautiful day? Hope everybody's doing very well. I'm not going to keep y'all too long, because I know you have better things to do than to listen to an old man ramble for about a half an hour to an hour about the nonsense of this world. Man. I'm just enjoying the cigar. It's going to be the rare Corojo punch cigar, established 1840. I love the punch cigars. Also, my second favorite cigar next to the Cohiba. Man, so once you are a grown man that finds your stick, you tend to stick to it. Cohibas and punch cigars are my two cigars. Although I experiment with other cigars, see which ones I like, which ones tickle my fancy. Like I said, I know a guy that can get me some Cuban cigars. I'm not going to tell you who, and I'm not going to sell it. It's going to be from my private stash. All right, give me a minute here. I gotta take care of some things. I gotta put a lighter fluid back in my lighter torch. Give me a few minutes. Alright, I'm back. A lot has gone on during the week since I've been doing my Balcony Chronicles last week. Because I had a commitment, I had some things to do. I couldn't talk to you fellas last week. I'm here this week. And a lot has gone on. Stephon Diggs, beat out his case, a strangulation case from a lying bitch, which was kind of expected. Bitch lied on the stand. Even the judge knew that bitch was lying. The jury knew that bitch was lying. Her own attorney knew she was lying. But, like attorneys, I don't take anything personal. Like I told you before, they are an advocate for you. They're there when you need them. And they're also there when you don't need them. That's why I tell all your fellas, man, just go ahead instead of getting them rims on your car or tricking on some bitch. Put that money towards a retainer for an attorney, because you may need one of these days. You never know in a criminal case, he's going to be some nasty ass bitch is going to file a criminal case against you. So go ahead and get that attorney. Go find a good attorney. Put down $10,000 as a retainer, and you're good to go. I know in my line of work, I'm going to need an attorney. I have investment properties. For sure, I'm going to need an attorney. Landlord that deals with landlord-tenant issues. Liability issues. Any type of issue. It even comes to criminal issues. You're going to need an attorney. But I also talked about that in my Cigar Thoughts podcast on Thursday. But I also wanted to talk about this punk ass bitch, Chud the Builder. And I'm glad some of the bros and sis, FBAs, fellow FBAs, ran up on him. They found out he was at a gas station fucking with a brother, you know, with that rah-rah calling him out his name, calling him a nigger, saying that he's going to chimp out, and, you know, challenging him to do something, knowing that he has pepper spray and a gun on him, which is, to me, is a cowardly thing to do. And he does this based off, I have the right to do this. I have the right to run around calling people black folks a nigger in their face. I mean, you do have the right to do it. It's not a smart thing to do, and I don't see any of y'all punk ass motherfuckers coming out, white trash hillbilly nutcracker motherfuckers, coming into the hood with that same energy. Alright? So he's been doing this for a minute, and it just got caught on about last week. I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but I'm gonna take another angle that no one else has ever taken throughout this controversy. Does he have a right? Any white man has the right to walk up to me, call me a nigger, challenge me to a fight, do something about it. And I'm gonna have to say, I mean, yeah, he does, but it's not gonna work out well for him. Fucking with me, it's not gonna work out well for him. I have bail. I have an attorney. So, and if he wants to go that route of trying to pepper spray me with it, I can get pepper spray too, and I can get a 45 as well. You gotta remember, Tennessee is a concealed carry state, baby. You know. You can get it, brothers and sisters. You can go ahead and get your concealed carry license. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, this as a form of protection from these mutants out here who want to try to fuck with you for no reason. All you trying to do is just go about your day in public, go about your day, get some gas, get some snacks, and then you have to encounter some idiot, an immature idiot, because I'm going to touch on that. Because you got to be, as a grown adult, okay, as a grown adult, you have to feel compelled to go back to third grade and start calling people out of their name, calling people you do not know out of their name. Strange people you don't know what kind of mental state that they are in. You don't know if they're having a bad day. You don't know if they had a fight with their wife. You don't know if they got fired from their job, pushing shopping carts from Walmart. You don't know any of that stuff. So you don't know if the guy knows karate. That pepper spray and that gun is going to be useless if he knows a third-degree martial artist that can knock you the fuck out before you can even get to your gun. Or pepper spray. And I saw the video where the brother smacked the camera out of his hands and spit on him, and then caused a whole new commotion of brothers and sisters, black folks coming out. Black women, FBA coming out, confronting this asshole. He was running his mouth until one brother said, yeah, I got a concealed carry. I got my concealed carry license. I got my jam with me. What you gonna do? Yeah, you can call me a nigger if you want to. It doesn't bother me, but you're not gonna treat me like a nigger. See, that's the thing. That's more important. That's what I caught throughout that interaction with that second brother that the builder got into. See, you can call me a nigger all day long, white folks. You can call me a nigger all day long until your teeth turns white. But what you're not gonna do is gonna treat me like a nigger. And you know, and what that means is you're not gonna lay hands on me. All right. You're not gonna go into my life and get me fired from my job or fuck up my reputation. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna treat me like a nigga like that. All right? Because I believe black folks in this United States are not niggas. They never were and never will be niggas. Okay? The behavior of a nigger, yeah, you can behave like a nigger, but you're not a nigger. So let's go on to the behavior of a nigger. All right? Those folks out there, they just ran up on him. With the cameras in hand, cussing them out back, calling them names, he's up here chipping out. But as soon as he ran into that brother that had the jam on him, he decides to call the police. Like a bitch. Like a bitch. Like a bitch-ass white nigga. Behavior. That's the behavior of a white nigga. Start some shit up, then you're gonna call the police. Feel like you're a threat. Your life is in danger. His life was not in danger. He could have got into his truck and got the fuck up out of here. He didn't want to do that. He needed content showing black folks, and in his words, chipping out and then calling the police on them to try to get him arrested, which is a bitch-ass thing to do. Start something, you start up shit with it. You start fucking with somebody you don't even know, and you get the reaction that you may not really expect it. And then you're gonna call the police. And it gets too hot, you're gonna call the police like a bitch. But see, black folks, this is good, especially you black men out there. This is a lesson to y'all. If y'all decide to do creative, fucking with people you do not know on camera. Okay? Yeah, you got a camera. Yeah, you might get knocked upside your head. And yeah, you're gonna go to the police. But just ask yourself this question. Just ask yourself this question. Just because I have the right to do something, should I do it? Because it may cost me my by doing this, doing pranks, calling people out of their name, fucking with people. It may not work out well for me. And if I was on the jury, and if God forbid, if one of these guys, one of these Chuck builders got jacked up by one of the brothers, and I was on the jury, God forbid that the brother got arrested. First of all, I would pay, if there's a GoFundMe, I would say, hey man, let's go ahead and bail this man out. If I would call him up and say, hey man, what's his name? Is he in jail? Is he in custody right now? Well, let me go ahead and throw something on his bail. That's how FBA is supposed to do when you see a brother in trouble, in distress. You're supposed to come in and help him. That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, he threw up. I mean, this punk motherfucker threw up GoFundMe for $100,000, and these toothless idiots decided to donate to him. You just wasted your money. You just wasted your money by giving money to this fool for causing his own demise. He's caught it. He really caused himself. He's fucking with people. He's gonna get jacked up fucking with the wrong people. But see, there's another side of that coin, and I think Tariq Nasheed talked about it. You know, this is an example of, of a hate crime. Think about it. During the Super Bowl, you watch the Super Bowl ad about a brother, or about a Jewish kid, went to their locker and it said something disparaging about Jews, and a brother came up, taped over the word with a blue square sticky, said, hey man, I know what you're going through. We're talking about ending Jewish hate. Now, in the past 100 years, I don't remember anything recently that happened between a Jewish person. I mean, certainly on YouTube space, I cannot say anything. I cannot use the disparaging words that they use for Jews. I can't use the K word. I can't use the H word. Okay? I can't say it because they will shut my channel down. Now, you can call black folks a nigger, coon, spade, a jungle bunny. You can use all those terms for black Americans, especially for black Americans. Nothing's going to happen to your channel. I guarantee it. Your channel is not going to get shut down. You're not going to get shut down. You know, they allow it. That's the double standard that we're talking about as an FBA. Now, if he's really that brave, I wish he would go to a synagogue talking about, I hate on them people. I hate on K's and H's. I wish he would do that. You want to know how quickly that chug the building would get snatched up? You see how quickly he would get snatched up? But yet, black Americans, just black Americans, it's a word, you know, it's a word. You should be sticks and stones, and yada, yada, yada. But it's not all about that. And I saw that fat ass punk motherfucker Jason Whitlock. Now, his fat ass has never been out in the real world. He hides behind a pen and paper, writing about shit, writing shit that he doesn't even know anything about. He's up supporting this guy, Chud the Builder, thinking that it's First Amendment. We already established he had a right to do it. Is it smart to do it? What we're talking about is smart to walk up on a person you do not know, fucking with him or her. The answer is, it's not smart. Can you do it? Yeah. Is it smart? Nope. And brothers and sisters, if you ever get confronted by one of these assholes, pull your camera out. Unless you have a good attorney and bail money, I wouldn't do anything to these motherfuckers. Because what they're gonna do is just slither away when they know they can't get that reaction that they want for their content, for their stupid ass channel. And I think the brothers and sisters, the black folks, FBAs, you know, there's a lot you can do to get his channel shut down. Yeah, law enforcement know that. Yeah, but they also know that, hey man, you're on your own. No, when he called the police and the police showed up, he said, the police was like, you know, we got better things to do than get involved in this nonsense. You know, you just wasted police resources. And that's another thing this motherfucker did. He wasted police resources on some bullshit. Now, I'm not a fan of, I'm never going to be pro-police. I'm going to talk about that in my live stream later on next week or the week after. I don't know. Or I might just do a short little podcast about it. But I'm not pro-police, but I don't believe in wasting resources on nonsensical behavior, people who are involved in nonsensical behaviors or nonsensical stunts. or anything nonsensical. This was nonsense. Nothing was going to happen. The police wasn't going to arrest anybody. I know that. They know, hey man, you fucking with you. Hey, go ahead. They told him, get in your truck. And if I was the officer on scene, I would say, hey, listen, get in your truck, get the fuck out of here. With this nonsense. You're wasting our time. You're wasting our resources. Get in your truck and get the fuck out of here. There is no emergency. But I like the way these brothers, these black folks, these black men and women handled themselves during that confrontation. That's a lesson to it, and knowing how to keep calm, don't get too emotional when you see these motherfuckers. You know, you can cuss them out if you want to. You can go into yelling at them if you want to. Just don't get, unless you have bail money, or unless you have a good and a good attorney, do not, or you have nothing to lose. Do not confront these. Do not put hands on them. Because I don't want to see you get locked up or on some bullshit to become a trophy for this motherfucker. Fuck him. Right. Let me go ahead. Let me transition into Spirit Airlines closing, shutting its operations earlier this week. You know, I'm kind of ambivalent about it because I wanted Spirit Airlines to stay afloat because they're the reason why when I get on Delta or American Airlines or United, my ticket prices are so low when I go to Florida. Especially when I go down to Florida, it's extremely low. It's lower than usual. Now that this Spirit Airlines is gone, ticket prices are going to go up during the summer, especially during the peak months. But it was bound to happen because people who, and I did my research on Spirit Airlines before deciding to fly with them. I've flown with them only once. And it wasn't bad. I'm not going to say anything bad about it from my experience. It wasn't great, but it wasn't the worst experience that I had. I mean, I was coming back from South Carolina. I had to drop my mom off down to South Carolina for the winter. And suddenly, you know, I booked on Spirit Airlines, but suddenly there was a snowstorm down in South Carolina, that part of South Carolina. I was like, oh shit. I came down here to get away from the bullshit. Now I got the bullshit snow down here. It was fucking amazing, man. But anyway, so there was no other flights. The cheapest flight was one way. It was on Spirit Airlines, and they ran a promotion about eliminating the middle seat. And I'm like, what? The first 3 rows, there's no middle seat. I'm like, what? Let me go ahead and it cost about, at that time, one way, $140, one way to get on Spirit Airlines. And I get a free check back. So I was like, all right, cool. They should have stuck with that promotion. You know, hey, listen, the first 12 rows, you know, there's no middle seat. We'll charge you $140 plus a free check bag, and you good to go. While the rest of the humanoids go in the rows 13 and up, they have to grumble, fuck Spirit Airlines. I I gotta put my bag in the train to make sure I can carry on. And they're gonna charge me carry-on fees and check bag fees. I booked my ticket for $45. Now they want to charge me $65 to check my bag. Hell no. Now that's a consumer that did not do their research before getting on Spirit Airlines. And I did my research before I got that sweet deal. When I was on the website shopping for airlines, I was on Spirit Airlines. I saw the $59 one way. Now it's a base fare, $59, which includes taxes and other airport fees and other bullshit that they're gonna charge you, right? But then there's the add-on. You gotta pay for a check bag. If you gotta carry on, you gotta pay for that shit, right? You gotta carry on that can't fit under the seat, a personal item. You're allowed to get a personal item, meaning your book bag. But carry on, they charge you for that. Check bag, they're gonna charge you for it. Changing your seat, they're gonna charge you for it. If you want a paper boarding pass, they're gonna charge you $10 for it. Water, food, snacks, water, and all that shit. They're gonna charge you for that. They're gonna charge you for everything. So when you get to the airport, it turned out when I did the total, it was the same as Delta Airlines. So I'm like, card. Why don't I just get Delta? Same price. It was like a few dollars less. Delta was a few dollars less than Spirit. Why don't I book with Delta? And I got an American Express, Delta Skylines card where I can check my bag for free. So I said, fuck it, Spirit Airlines. And then you got to do all this elaborate packing scheme, right? To even get your personal items on board. You know, they have these backpacks where you can store about 5 days of clothes and underwear in your backpack and just carry it on. Carry it on the plane and then go on about your business. You saving baggage fees for that shit. And I'm like, why the fuck would I want to do that? Let me just get on Delta Airlines. Let me get on American Airlines. Let me get on JetBlue and go on about my business, man. If I want to stay for 5 days, I just take my carry-ons for free. Let me just go ahead, put it overhead, go on about my business. But the thing about Spirit Airlines closing is not because of the consumer, but there's going to be 17,000 employees going to be out of a job. Adding to the unemployment rate. 17,000 jobs lost. It's a big hit. That may not seem big, that may not seem significant, but if you got mouths to feed, you're in a horrible economy right now, where shit is going up, but your wages is not going up. You're still getting that 3%, doing all that work, being the best shopping cart pusher at Walmart. And at the end of the year, when you do your evaluation, you exceeded expectations, you met expectations. They're never going to say you exceeded expectations in your evaluation. All right? You're going to get that 3% raise being a company name. Which you should. You should always be the best employee at your job, Keep in mind, if you're not getting promoted, you're just going to get that 3% cost of living raise. Your shit is going up 3%. Your raise is going up 3%. Everything else is going up 10% every year. So how are you going to survive, people? You're going to have to take a second job. You're going to have to take a sales job. which I recommend most black men do, get into sales, man. That's where the money is. Trust me. Selling shit, learning how to sell shit, that's where the money is. Trust me. And you ain't got to be slimy about it. Just go out there, present a product that people might need. Sell something that people might need, that will need, definitely need. I have a relative who was in sales, who started out his career after he got out of college. He was selling pest control services. He was selling upholstery cleaning services. And he made good money doing that shit. He made enough money so he can go ahead and go into real estate investing, which he's selling. He does wholesaling, real estate wholesaling. Making good money. To the point where he is trying to retire his wife, which is one of my favorite cousin-in-law. But I gotta get up with him. I gotta give him a call since the tax season's over. So I gotta give him a call, find out what he's up to, what we're doing, what our plan's gonna be. I'm gonna write down what my plans are to get involved in this real estate venture. But my point is that Spirit Airlines, man, closing down, will it affect the consumer? Yeah, because believe it or not, I don't use Spirit Airlines, but there are other people that do use it. And they don't use it just to bring bags and travel for a week. They just go to one point A to point B. For instance, if they have a job, like I said, if they have a job interview down in Atlanta, they got to leave from New York, and it's $59 to just go down there, get the job interview, go on the job interview, come back and bring your ass back home the next day or a couple hours later. It sounds like a good deal. Or if you're going from New York City to Buffalo, New York, good deal. $59 is a good deal. You're just going to Las Vegas for the day. Do a day trip down to Las Vegas from LA and do that. But it's gonna affect the consumer, and it's also gonna affect the overall economy, where all those lost jobs is gonna be absorbed. These people are gonna have to do something else. They may be able to catch on with another airline or something. Damn, 17,000 jobs, boy. But, it is what it is. Spirit Airlines is gone. Frontier, better get your shit together. You're on the clock. Frontier. Yeah, I seen what those two... Yeah, last year, these two hood rats, man, just got into it with a customer. He was late. That's the rule. Late. You gotta pay a $25 boarding fee to even get on the plane, to get checked in and you miss your flight, man. You gotta rebook. That's what it is. It is what it is, but there's unprofessional hood rats. Shit. But, it is what it is. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about all y'all simps out there. Y'all still paying the debts, paying off the your wise student loans that you married before you got in, before you married in. This is what I tell everybody that's involved in a relationship. If you have significant debts, pay it off first. Make sure that bitch pays off her debts. Credit card debts, student loan debts, hell, even the mortgage. Because when you get married, she's going to be looking at you to pay off those debts on her behalf. And trust me when I tell you, it's never going to work. She's going to see you of no use once she gets what she wants. You may be her savior. Rest assured, you're going to be divorced later on. A few months later, she'll file for divorce and go about it with a name and Dexter. On a post before the pros are winning, that there was a brother that refused to marry a woman that had over $90,000 in debt. $90,000 in debt. Shit. Because she thought she had a sucker that was going to pay debt. I'm like, bitch, I ain't paying that. I ain't paying your student loans. I ain't paying your credit card bills. What is wrong with you? Best part is not get into debt. If you are in debt, the last thing you should be doing is trying to get into it. Alright? You should be trying to find out how to get the fuck out of this debt and stack some cash. Because you can't stack any cash if you're in debt. What the fuck is wrong with you? And you're gonna lose money dealing with a woman. Hell, there was a video where dating it has become expensive. That some of these brothers are spending over $200 just to go see some punk ass bitch you're probably not gonna see ever again. You're probably not even gonna. She's not gonna give you the pussy or anything like that. So why bother? Why bother going on a date? Why bother going on dates? I mean, the last date that I've been on, it cost me roughly around the 3 days that I've been, because I don't date anymore. I don't go on dates anymore. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm cool with y'all. You know, the date beforehand, I was trying, I met somebody on a dating app. Italian, Puerto Rican woman who was more Puerto Rican than Italian. Okay. Traveled down to central New Jersey, which cost me $50. Alright? And I bought the beer that bitch talked about that she liked, the High Life beer. Alright? High Life IPA beer. Alright? Order a case of that. So that cost me another $10. So that's $60 on the rip. That I had to pay $20 for gas, $50 for tolls. That's so far. I'm in the hole for almost $100 in the hole. And I haven't even seen the bitch yet. And driving down there cost me time. An hour and a half to get down there to Central Jersey from New York City. Sat there talking to this bitch, realized this bitch is screwed up because she's an old bitch. Because all old bitches are screwed up, man. I'll tell you right now. You know, that's why back in the day, old geezers like myself would go after younger women, because they're not experienced yet to have the bullshit. You know, to go through the bullshit. Now, when they're up there in their 50s, you gotta hear a bitch got married 4 times. One was in an abusive relationship, which is also subjective. I talked about that on Thursday. You know, what is abuse? I got her side of the story that she was abused. Okay, what did you do? How did you get out of it? How did you know that he was abusive? What did he do? Did he whoop your ass? Did he whoop him? He came in the house and began whooping your ass for no reason? Or was he just talking crazy to you? Because a lot of these guys who are abusive, and there are some abusive guys out there, they like to talk crazy. But usually, my definition of abuse is that, somebody that's parasitic in nature, all right? They won't cling to you. Nobody, you can't have, if I can't have you, nobody else can have you. Type of mentality. What did this motherfucker do to be so abusive to you? So you gotta sift through all that bullshit story that she's telling you, and then the fourth marriage that she was on, that she got married. When the fourth marriage that she was involved in, she married a guy just for health insurance, just so the motherfucker could have health insurance, so he can go ahead and do his surgery. This is the type of bitch these are the type of bitches that are out there, that are my age and older, that are still single. It's always a red flag when a woman of a certain age, when they get into their 40s and 50s, had one divorce, or never been married, having kids all over the place, or have multiple marriages. It's always a red flag. Now, I'm not saying you can find a diamond in the rough, but I wouldn't even waste my time. You're better off just going ahead and get a scratch-off ticket, trying to win the lottery, and you'll have better odds than, winning the lottery than trying to find a good, decent woman. Not even a good woman, a decent woman. I'm not even going to go that far saying there is no such thing as a traditional woman anymore. All these hoes are monetized. That's CGA, Coach Greg Adams said, these bitches are monetized. Now you got more and more of these bitches on OnlyFans trying to make money off of y'all fellas out there, because these bitches ain't getting no money out of me anymore. The only money that I'm investing in is renewing my passport, taking my black ass out of the country, and having some fun in Colombia. Well, maybe not Colombia. I don't want to go where all the brothers are going. Maybe Eastern Europe. I don't know. Maybe Eastern Europe. Maybe back to Vietnam. I don't know, man. But I got to get the fuck out of here. I can't date in the United States anymore. You can't. As an old man, you can't date in the United States. As a young man, 20 years ago, I felt sorry for y'all young people. Y'all young men out there that has to date these hoes. I feel bad for y'all. Especially you black men out there. Y'all. I hate to say it, that black men, we are the trash can of dating. We take everybody else's trash, right? We take damaged goods all over. We date damaged goods, the women that are damaged goods. Eventually, well, let me go back. Let me circle back to my date with this Aaron Romano looking motherfucker, bitch. She said, you weren't a match. And I'm like, thank God we weren't a match. I was saying to myself, I told the bitch, all right, I'm going to sit here and have another beer. You have a good, wonderful life. Bye. She felt a certain way about it. She wasn't mad. She was kind of upset. She was kind of sad about it. I like, bitch, you said we were in a match. Fuck you. I ain't going to call you for what? To do what? To travel out to New Jersey to talk to you? Or talk on the phone like a chatty patty? No, I ain't got time for that shit, man. If I'm on the phone with you, it's for business, either business or pussy. Which one is it? or if you're family. Because I'm bald headed. I have a bald head, but my name is not Dr. Phil. Okay? Well, let's go ahead. There's nothing going on in the chat. Vetch YT says hello. Danielle Lewis says hello. Where is this place? It's New York City. I'm not going to tell you exactly where I am, but hey, it's New York City. All right, well, it's 45 minutes. I got shit to do. I'll holler at y'all fellas later on next week, all right? All right, this is Talking Crazy 88, and I am out of here. And black men, let's be careful out there, all right?